5 weeks ago, with so much joy and gusto, I welcomed you to the beginning of the World Cup, then in Russia. Now, yet again, I'm so much not too happy, but then I have to show my excitement as the World Cup is coming to a huge, glorious finale tomorrow in Moscow. Of course, today we know for a fact that Belgium will be playing England in the losers' finals. Welcome. This is Hotsports. My name is Babajide Guerrero, and boy, oh boy, are we fired up for what is going to be an amazing football and sports conversation generally. Guys, of course, you know for a fact that we'll be talking about several things happening in the world of sports. And this particular show will see us cover the transfer news as well as happenings in the Wimbledon and in boxing as well, where teams are eating up with Deontay Wilder and, of course, Anthony Joshua. Of course, I'm never alone on the show. I'm not a Liverpool fan, so I never walk alone. I got my man, Seun Sean Oyenuga, making his debut on the show today.
I'm doing fantastic, Julian. Super. How are you?
I'm very well. I'm very well, especially because it's a final of the World Cup. It's actually brimming down our noses as well. Speaking of brimming, a man is brimming with smiles right beside Seun Oyenuga right now. He is a man, of course, who's excited about the finals as well as I am. Eyino Igbinege. Eyino, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm fine. How you doing?
Brilliant to have you guys on the show. And guys, let's just juice this up. Okay, I know for a fact, that this year is Hotspot is the longest running sports show on Nigerian television. We'll go for a quick break. When we return, you don't want to miss this show. You do not want to miss it. If you're just joining us, you've not missed anything. In fact, you're just getting this engine revved. We're talking about the World Cup happening in Russia. That is just 1 day to go. And the World Cup so far, Seun, I've seen so many exits, especially with knowing fully well that just 4 teams remaining. Losers final today, final tomorrow. But which particular team are you disappointed with? I mean, not getting this far.
Argentina.
You say that with so much conviction, man. Like you're pissed off.
Everybody expected Messi to come to the party. You know what Messi does for Barcelona.
Absolutely.
You know how he drags everybody along. But it was simply no show. It was nowhere to be found. Yeah, it was tried and all that, but he could have done more. He could have done more. The whole team was a failure.
Yeah, in pretty much. That's even putting it in good context. And you want to say Germany or Spain?
I think Germany, because they are the last world champions, and I think everybody had their money on Germany. I too had my money on Germany because they are young, they are vibrant, their style of football is amazing. So we really don't know what happened this World Cup. It's always a shock for everybody.
Some stars take their time to blow. Some stars take their time to get to that particular top-level football and blow. That's what I want to use. Of course, we can relate to that word.
Yeah.
Kylian Mbappe, has he blown in this tournament?
Kylian Mbappe, wow, the golden boy. I think he has been fantastic in this tournament. He has been fantastic because, this is not just this year. The 2 years ago, the Champions League, you saw the run he had with Monaco, and it was so fantastic and brilliant.
Absolutely.
So we're seeing this thing is not like a new thing from this boy. We know this boy has potential. He has been compared to the likes of Thierry Henry. As of 2016, now he's being compared with Pele. So, this boy has a lot of boots to fill, and I think every test that comes his way, he's just passing it. A very amazing footballer.
It is. Interestingly, one thing that Pele and Mbappe actually share is that Pele happened to be one of the youngest players to ever score the World Cup. That's for same for Kylian Mbappe, who just erased the record of David Trezeguet at the World Cup. Kylian Mbappe is the youngest ever French guy to score at the World Cup, and interestingly, the 4th youngest player to score at the World Cup. Guys, one of the biggest deals at this World Cup has to be Seun, the VAR. For you, has it come to stay? Is it a no or a yes? How well has it performed?
The VAR has come to stay. Of course, there are some chinks in it. There are some things that has to be fine-tuned. But over and above, you've seen penalties that on a normal day would not have been given, and they're given to aid the team. I, as a person, I'm for it. I'm 100% for VAR, yes.
We'll go for a quick break. When we return, we're going to be talking about what's happening today as Belgium will fight out against England. And that's maybe another choking team. Stick around. You're welcome back to the show. It's still Hotsports. We thank you very much for joining us. Remember, you can feel free to use our social media platforms at Hotsportsng on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And do well as well to go check us live on our website, www.hotsporttv.com. And of course, if you're feeling lucky in the voice of Wayne Rooney, I do well to put in a text message on the text message platform. It's on your screen. That number is very much on your screen. On your screen later this evening will be the filing out of 2 teams who really Seun has done quite well for themselves. I mean, regardless of wherever you want to look at this from. England on one end and Belgium on the other. One team we expect to get to the final, in a way, should be Belgium, Seun.
Yeah, I think they just couldn't find a way to break down France. They tried, they changed tactics and not all that, but I think Hazard choked in that game, particularly because it was.
It was a choker.
Yes, it was a choker. It was hugging the ball way too much. It was holding onto the ball. It was allowing the French players to be on him. Lukaku half the time was just alone. The only time Lukaku started getting balls was when Yannick Carrasco got into the game, when Dries Martins got into the game. Then they were giving look, but they were not even passing. They couldn't pass because unfortunately for them, France was able to stifle the defense.
Absolutely.
Everywhere was, but there was really no, and he couldn't bring forth that individual brilliance we saw all season with Chelsea. He was nowhere to be found. I believe he should have done better. He should have carried the team way better than what he played.
And that's one thing about knockout games, because the truth is, it's all about how you play in every single game. And speaking about playing in every single game, and you know, have you been impressed with this particular English side, this crop of boys?
Views actually differ from this. I just feel I've really not been impressed. But when I say this, a lot of people will be like, oh, they got to the semi-finals. They've just played two key games, which was the one against Belgium and the one we saw against Croatia. Apart from that, they've played Panama, they've played Colombia, and you've seen the way the games be. I've not been impressed with the English team. I'm sorry to say.
Of course.
People are like, oh,
you shouldn't have been sorry.
Yeah, in the semi-final. But I'm like,
they could have done better.
They could have done better because they say the Premier League is the best league in the world. Now, prove it. The big stage, your players are there. They play week in, week out. So the game against Croatia had like 30 minutes extra than England because Croatia had 2 extra times. England had just 1. So they had a lot of time, you know, settled against Croatia. You got to the game, you scored first. So what happened? So you choked. That's what happened. They choked.
They choked on that particular stage.
If I can say something, I'm not of the opinion that they choked.
Okay.
Reason being that this is a relatively young team. Only 5 of these guys were in the last World Cup. They're a bunch of rookies, and I believe they punched above their weight. You might say, oh, they played Panama, they played this, but they really punched against Croatia. They up until like the 60th minute, they were on the front foot. Yeah, they were on the front foot. But unfortunately, inexperience, naivety, and all that stepped in. That was their undoing in that game. So I believe they punched above their weight. Nobody, even they themselves, I don't think they were expecting that they would get to the semi-final. Yeah, forget about the hype about it's coming home. It started as a joke. They weren't expecting to get to the semi-final.
The only thing that is going home now is England, because nothing is going on with them anyway. Not the trophy.
They are going home empty-handed.
All right, speaking about empty-handed, the losers final, I don't like to call it the third place. Unfortunately, I think it's the losers. It's a final in its own right, because the players of off-score know that this is something to play for. Belgium will take on England. A lot of people have been saying that top place games are irrelevant. Maybe that's why the UEFA Champions League don't have third place matches. But I think strongly that this particular game is absolutely key to the careers of the players. Special delight is coming our way very, very soon. The gentlemen are fired up for this one. Aino on one hand versus Sheol. It's the final of the World Cup. Croatia versus France. Who is going home? Is it going to Zagreb or it is going to Paris? That right there is the topic for this beautiful, beautiful Saturday morning edition of Hotsports. Go nowhere not, because we will be right back. You're welcome back to the show, and it's where it really gets quite hot on Hotsports this Saturday morning. Remember, we're talking about who gets the trophy tomorrow. Will it be Croatia or will it be France? My gentlemen are still very much in the studio. And remember, you also can be part of this conversation. Come on, that's quite simple. All you need to do is just to text us on the number on your screen and follow and mention and comment on our social media platforms at Hotsportsng. That's on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Guys, Sheon, your thesis statement.
Croatia, all the way. The best midfield, the best defense so far. That's why they're in the final. Tactically, they are way better than France, and they are grinders. Let me put it that way. They are grinders. They hustle to the last blow of the whistle. They're not going to relent. They're going to come at you waves after waves after waves.
France all the way. You know, France, they are the best team in this tournament to me. You know, they have young players. They have a good midfield, good defense, and the most important thing, they have a very experienced coach in Deschamps. So France for me.
Okay, gentlemen, that's the thesis statement. But of course, you know for a fact that there's an argument coming right at you. So we'll go for a break. Are you ready? They are. All right, so guys, we're back to the show. It's time to get the argument right out of the way. So, hey, floor is yours.
Bonjour. No, France for me because this is it's a easy. To me, it's a easy game for France because Croatia they've had a lot of minutes. They played 90 extra minutes. You've seen the teams. The team for France is they know what they need to do. France is what I'm so impressed about this French team, minus the good midfield, the good defense, is the fact that the coach knows how to adapt to every team they are playing. You see, they played with Argentina, they played with.
If I can say something, you said Croatia, 30 minutes, 90 minutes extra time. First of all, Croatia has the best midfield currently in this World Cup.
I disagree.
That's a duel of Rakitic.
I disagree.
I don't care. But the number speaks for itself. Modric, three man of the match award. That's insane.
Because who did they play?
That's insane. So forget about who did they play. Forget about game after game. These guys that come to the table, yeah, it might drag out, but that shows you something. These guys are dogged fighters. They are dogged fighters. They're going to give it to you. They're not going to relent.
But I know they're not going to relent. But France for me is the best team. You said midfield. You said Modric.
Okay, now hold on. Let's take it. Let's take it head to head. Let's take it head to head. Who would you rather have in your team? A Rakitic, a Modric, or a Kante and Pogba?
A Kante and a Pogba.
Now I'll go back to the defense. We have Vida, we have Lovren, we have Strinik.
Vida.
Come on, those guys are insane.
Okay, let's be honest. Let's do a poll. And who of you has really know Vida before this World Cup?
And now you are talking about a France whose main striker has not had one shot at goal. Well, I'm talking about Olivier Giroud.
But he isn't their best striker though. Because their best striker, we know he has an issue with the coach. So their best striker is not in the World Cup in carrying.
Well, it's whatever you bring to the table. That's what we are going to talk about. That's what we are going to talk about. Now, Croatia has Rebic, they have Kamaric, they have Mandzukic. And you saw what Mandzukic at the age of 32.
But you can't compare them to France. France has Griezmann. Who in Croatia team is close to Griezmann?
Mandzukic.
How can you compare Mandzukic to Griezmann? Are you kidding me?
These guys
are you kidding me?
You don't get it. Game after game.
Sean, please, let me ask this.
What?
Maybe this would help our argument. Does name play football?
Definitely not.
Yes, it does.
Definitely not.
Yes, it does.
Because Anton Rebic did it against Argentina. Kamaric. Okay. Hold on. People don't know this guy.
Do I make a point? You see whether does name win football? And he says no. Why would name win football? Now you should understand. Players in the World Cup is a place where players are unknown.
If name were to win football, if name were to win,
remember the last World Cup there was a
Messi should be in final. Ronaldo should be in the final.
That is not about names. That's about team chemistry. The thing about
but you said names.
There's a difference between club football and national team football.
One thing you need to get right. One thing you need to get right is, so far so good, Croatia has been the only team that's been playing together. The team cohesion.
So what has France been doing? Let's ask ourselves the question. Let's go round 16. Let's go quarter-final. Let's go the semi-final. You see, France versus Argentina. Wonderful football. They came, they did their thing. They played against Uruguay in the quarter-final. Uruguay is a very strong team. They considered only one goal in the first 4 matches, and they got to France, who scored them 2 goals. That's amazing. Now you got to the semi-final with Belgium. First 15 minutes of the game, Belgium were all over the place. Deschamps did what? Told his boy to sit back, and they took their chances. So this French team, they're very good. They're compact. Now, talking about names, now let me ask you a question. A Ronaldo, a Messi, they won't play in Stoke City, and Stoke City will win the league.
That is left to you. Now football itself is a team sport. It is not a one-man sport.
Absolutely.
Which over and over again, Croatia has been able to show to everybody in this World Cup.
It is a team sport.
Now you have,
he wants to make a point.
Now you have Modric and Rakitic molding things. You have Mandzukic, you have Rebic coming at you unrelentlessly. They will come at you every time. They do not tire.
They are not small footballers. When you say names, Croatia is not a Tanzania. No offense, but this is Croatia. We're talking about
the nation of 4.5 million people. The nation of 4.5 million people, and to have that pool of footballers.
Look at the club football perspective. In the last 5 years, 2 players from that team have won the Champions League, Modric and Rakitic. So you have 2 players from different teams. They play world-class football.
That is the main reason why Croatia will win the World Cup. You're just buttressing my point. You just buttressed my point.
No, that's not. No, my point about
you
this.
Just did.
What I'm saying about this, the fact that Croatia is a small nation. I'm saying they are not. France is
It
way
is there
better.
is small nation,
France
4.5
is way-
million. I don't think
France
they
is way better than-
I don't even think they're up to Alimosho
It's not
government
4.5 million people
in
that is playing this competition. It's 11 people. A nation of 900 could actually do this. They have
Gentlemen,
the big players. Why are we saying this?
we've understand that although names do not play football, but they have a role to play. Good. Moving forward, department by department, gentlemen. Attack for defense, midfield to goalkeeping. Let's x-ray this team and let's see who's got a better team. Sean,
Okay.
go first.
I will still say Croatia. Now, Subasic, insane goalkeeper, massive. The guy spread his hands out in the goalpost. You find it difficult to score.
He
That is one.
saved 4 penalties so far in the World Cup.
Thank you for saying that. Now you go
In
to
the penalty shootout.
Now you go to thank you. Now you go to defense. You talk about you have Vida, you have Lovren. Those guys have been massive. Those guys are tall. Going forward, they can knock the ball. They can.
Come on, Lovren just came from Liverpool. They had a bad
it comes to free
season.
kicks,
They had
now,
to buy Van Dijk.
moving on.
Yes.
Let's talk about midfield.
Okay.
Oh my God. Modric, Rakitic.
Okay.
Name a better duo.
Kante, Pogba.
To
Kante, Pogba.
Modric, we are talking about
Kante,
engine
Pogba.
rooms
Who's a
two of the best football teams in the whole world. How about Madrid?
Okay, now this is the amazing part.
How about Madrid
You say
and Barcelona?
Rakitic and Modric put together as an engine room. They are not up to Kante.
Oh
They are
my
V4,
God.
V4. Kante should
Oh
be
my
V12.
God.
Well,
What was
well,
that?
well,
Kante-
interestingly-
Now,
Kante is amazing.
Modric won the Champions League.
Yes,
Rakitic won
The league.
The league.
Yes, please.
And both of them put together. Both of them were fundamental to their
Cristiano
team.
Ronaldo won the Champions League.
Yeah.
Messi won the league.
They
are
were
both
the
home.
engine room.
They are both home.
Okay,
This is a very
don't
different
worry.
ballgame
Let's move on
entirely.
again. Now let's talk to the forwards.
Yes, please.
Now, and as a Rebic that serves as a defender, as a winger, as a forward.
Actually, he can play the goalkeeper.
The guy has been everything.
Because the guy wants clubs to say him and sign him. Come on,
The guy
you know how
has been
this works.
everything.
This-
My
we've seen a
Jose
lot
at
of this from a
32
lot of
years
players.
old, still
We've
playing
seen a
like
lot of this
that.
from-
What's
a
your
lot of
what's
players.
your defense? For the French attack.
The French
going
attack
forward?
is
Whose
the
main
best thing in
striker
the
does
world.
not have a shot on
Now,
goal?
okay, that is Deschamps. I don't know what Deschamps is doing, but now you look at the French midfield.
apart from
they
Giroud,
play
they
a
do
4-5-1.
not have- they-
No,
they
amazingly,
don't-
amazingly.
Who do they
play
have
a
on bench that
4-5-1.
can
They
stop
play a 4-5-1.
Giroud? They do not have anybody on bench that can stop
Because
Giroud.
that's
You
because
and Osman
the gameplay-
Dembele that been
if you notice-
disappointing their first game. He was
Deschamps'
disappointing.
gameplay
They
is
took him
similar
off.
to what Simeone of Atletico Madrid is trying to do, because you have a Griezmann now. If you look early this season, Griezmann was having issue till Diego Costa came. They had a point man who chased the ball down for him.
And he's still
Griezmann
having
does his thing.
issues, really.
No,
He's
Griezmann
still
doesn't
having
have. Griezmann
issues.
has been the best player in this tournament.
Wow.
For France. Yeah, he has been the first
How
player
many
in
man
this
of the
tournament.
match
I'm
did you
happy
have?
said for France.
No,
He
yeah,
said
For France, yes. For France, oh yeah,
For
for France, yes.
Mbappe, yes, is getting all the glory.
I agree with you for France.
You see,
But not at the World Cup.
yeah, because you see, another thing about this man of the opinion differ. I keep saying it.
Gentlemen, final thoughts. I mean, because we can go on and on and on. It's
We'll go
juicy.
on and on and on.
Absolutely. And let's start with your final thoughts in 10 seconds.
My final thought is that viewers, you see, I'm not really arguing because France is going to win it. Like, your money is on France.
Yeah.
There's no way to argue. The president of France was in Nigeria. He told us let's support France with the World Cup. That's our second thing.
Absolutely.
My brother Jeffrey is saying this, so he knows that's his thing.
Absolutely.
So we are all France.
Sean, Croatia, escaped from Nigeria's group to get to the final. Does that make them the Nigerian second team?
Well, not necessarily. I can't say they escaped. They trashed everybody
Absolutely.
in the group. And one thing about football being a team sport is once a team has cohesion, has strong mentality, has that grit. There's something called grit. Has that grit.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody can defeat them.
All right, guys, that's the thoughts of the gentleman in the studio, and you would agree with me that it's been a very, very interesting debate we've had here on Hotsports. But here, we're going to go for a break. When we return, it's the time for Final Whistle. So you're welcome back to the show, and it's the Final Whistle segment where I get to round off from here the submission of the gentleman in the studio. So maybe I slightly lean to the position of France. I hope I do not get eggs in my face, but I think France would nick this one slightly because of the sheer individual brilliance they've got in their team. They've got more players that can make things happen. And slightly against England, we saw a little bit tired Croatia in the first half. Maybe the extra minutes they've had as against other teams could be telling on them, but then again, it's the final. And what do I know? I'm just a football presenter. You guys are the one with the very best of football wit. So how about you share that wit with us on our social media platform at Hotsportsng across board, and do want to visit www.hotsporttv.com. Let's move on to Wimbledon right now, where Novak Djokovic, the one they call Djokono, is having a very, very fun time. Sean is playing the best tennis in recent memories, but then again, he's going to be facing Rafael Nadal, and he takes no prisoners these days.
Well, Djokovic, Nadal, they met 51 times, almost even score. Djokovic has 21 wins, as against 25 from Nadal. I still think Djokovic will nick this one. You know, he has that unpredictable, he has that energy. Yes, Nadal comes with the energy, the fire burning and all that, but Djokovic is a bit calmer. He's calm, but he gives it to you. I see, my money is on Djokovic anyway.
We saw Roger Federer being knocked out. You know, did you see that coming? He's 36, so it's fine to say maybe the younger guys that gets catching up on him.
Well, we didn't see that coming, although, but it's actually getting to the time for Federer, because even at 36, he's still playing very wonderful tennis. You know, very wonderful tennis. But then again, I wasn't really sad he left, because it was my favorite for the tournament. But he lost to Africa's finest, Kevin Anderson.
Absolutely.
So that's really a good thing for you. That's a plus for me.
Team
Yes,
Africa,
yes, Team Africa. Yes, that's a very nice one.
Will you be flying the African flag when we see Anthony Joshua potentially take on Deontay Wilder in 2019?
First of all, I'll be flying the Nigerian flag. Both parents are from Nigeria, by
Absolutely.
the way. I think he has what it takes to knock out Wilder. Like his name suggests, Wilder, he throws white punches. If you have a review of
That's
his...
mean. Please continue.
As the name suggests, he throws white punches half the time, and I don't think he's met anybody to really test him. Anthony Joshua is one of the best heavyweights right now, barring Tyson Fury, who I think will floor both of them anyway. His punches are hard. He doesn't lean back, not in any way. He has like this kind of jab, jab, jab punch. And if you're not careful, by the time the punch comes, you'll be sprawling on the floor. I see him knocking Wilder out.
This particular things you will be seeing will be coming on in 2019, where we'll get to see Anthony Joshua take on Deontay Wilder in a potential match. Hopefully, this particular bout sees the light of day. One thing that sees the light of day is us getting out of the studio at this time. But I cannot leave without saying thank you to you guys for sticking with us every Saturday morning here on Hotspot Network. If you've enjoyed the show, how about you just do well to join us again next week, Saturday, when we bring to you a new package, of course, called Hotspot Network. And at this time, I'd like to say thank you to debutant on the show today, Eyino and Sean. How would you evaluate your debut on Hotspot today?
I had fun because the French team made my work easy. Because I am not going to start again that Madrid, Rakitic. We all know the story. We all know the story.
Sean, over to you.
Well, it's been lovely. It's been fantastic. It's a privilege to be on the show with you guys, and it's been fun.
Yeah, so fun. Fun is what Sean says, of course. Fun is what you get right here on Hotspot every Saturday morning at 10:30 on NTA Network. Do what to get to reach us live on social media across board at Hotsportsng. Till I come your way next week Saturday, remember, take care of yourselves and each other. Bye for now.